Hello, my name is Millicent Collier, and I represent ChildServ. We're here tonight for our first show of ChildServ Live, and we'll be on every Monday for the next few weeks. Tonight, we have with us the CEO and President, Jim Jones, for ChildServ. And tonight, we're going to learn about ChildServ, and you, as viewers, will have an opportunity to call in, ask us questions, and please be sure to dial 312-738-1060. So, for the next 25 minutes, we're going to find out all about ChildServ and how you can get involved with this wonderful organization. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening, Millicent.
And thank you for coming.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Well, and our viewers are really interested, I'm sure, in finding out who is ChildServ and what is it that ChildServ does.
ChildServ is a child well-being organization that serves children and families in metropolitan Chicago. The organization has been around since 1894. It was founded by two Methodist deaconses, and they took in 6 homeless children from the streets of Chicago and moved them to Lake Bluff. Since that time, we've evolved from an orphanage to a children's home to providing foster and adoptive services in Lake County. And then we moved into Chicago in the 60s and 1970s, where now we're providing community-based services. And our services have expanded beyond just Chicago. We're in Cook, Lake, and DuPage counties.
Wow. Well, Jim, that is really bringing our viewers up to date to letting them know which communities that ChildServ is in. And when we talk about ChildServ, Jim, approximately how many employees does ChildServ have?
Well, today we have 120 employees plus volunteers and other stakeholders who have made a commitment to serving vulnerable children in the community.
Okay. And there's some other people that are also involved in ChildServ, correct?
Yes. We have volunteers, we have interns, we have other stakeholders like a board of trustees. We have today 29 board members.
Okay.
And we also have an advisory board, an auxiliary board. So we have a lot of committed citizens who really are passionate about what we do.
Okay. And that is really awesome. And I know included in that group, we also address the needs of foster parents that are.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us just a
today
bit about that?
we have 250 foster parents. We also have child care providers. In addition to that, we have a lot of committed individuals who really believe in our mission. Our mission is to help at-risk Chicagoland children and their families build, achieve, and sustain better lives. And we do that through a variety of methods. We have prevention, early intervention, education, and advocacy services. And these are what I call the 4 tenets of the organization, and at different points in time, we lift all 4 tenets.
Okay. All right. And I'd like to remind our viewers to please, if you have questions for ChildServ and for James C. Jones, our CEO and President, please give us a call at 312-738-1060. Now, Jim, moving on, now we've found out about who is involved with ChildServ. How would you describe the role of the organization in the community?
Well, we are a child welfare and family service organization. I like to think of us as being in a very important position to make a difference in the lives of children and their families. We do that through providing a continuum of services. We can serve anyone from a newborn baby to a senior who's taking care of her grandchildren. Today we have preschool services, we have school-based services, we have youth development services, and we have family support services. And these services come in a variety of packages. We have a program called HIPPY, Home Instruction for Parents of Preschool Youngsters. This is where the parent is the primary educator. The parent teaches the child, who is between the ages of 3 and 5, to read. I'm very proud of this program from the standpoint that our children tend to go into kindergarten or first grade being able to read and really performing at an advanced level compared to other children who have not had this type of an experience. We have a parent empowerment program. We call it PEP. This particular service is really focused on helping young mothers become better parents. It helps lift their self-esteem. They feel empowered and provides a lot of parent training and coaching.
And that is so important, really, for the young mothers to have that kind of resource available to them. It would be really to everyone's advantage to really make referrals. If you know young ladies who could benefit from the programs, please don't hesitate to give us a call. You can call us tonight at 312-738-1060 with any questions about the programs that Mr. Jones has just described to us. And also, you'll be able to reach us at any time at our administrative offices, and that information will be shown in just a moment. Now, Jim, moving forward, when we talk about the mission of ChildServ, I know that you've mentioned that we do offer parenting assistance to young mothers. Are there other programs that cover that?
I mean, we have several programs. I mean, when I describe our mission, I think of 6 core services. I've already mentioned a couple of them. In addition to HIPPY and PEP, we have a grand family support program, and we also have a foster care program that's really a long-term program in terms of the history of the organization. Through our foster care, we provide extended family support. It's a short-term service. We provide Project 90, which is another specialty program. We have a teen mom program, and we have traditional foster care. It's important for the viewers to understand that we serve over 200 children and youth in our foster care services. So, I mean, I'm very proud of that. I like to think of ChildServ having about 2% of the market share in the state of Illinois in terms of foster care.
And that is very significant to have that kind of impact on that number of lives. And right now we have a call. And yes, good evening, caller.
Good evening, panel. I'm calling. I was a state ward of the state growing up, and unfortunately there was some situations within my childhood that I had to become a ward under my aunt and grandmother who were fostering me at the time, and that there was a number of issues there. But I wanted to address 2 issues. I think I wanted to know if there are any future programs that ChildServ, because if you look at the name, it's to service children. Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct.
ChildServ, serve children.
That's correct.
And I wanted to know, do you have any future programs aimed at targeting children who may not be wards of the state, or just at-risk kids, or kids who are socioeconomically sidelined? And the second question was, after answering that one, is what do you think about the new curfew rule here in Chicago?
Well, in terms of the initial question, like I said, we serve over 200 children in terms of the Child Welfare Service. But I'd like to also state that most of the program participants are not connected with DCFS, with our organization. We serve over 3,000 children and their families on an annual basis, and most of these children and youth with their families live in the community. So just to directly answer your question, we have a program called Extended Family Support, It's connected to foster care, but it's more or less a short-term service where we're working diligently to keep children and youth out of the child welfare system. So we work with the natural parent and also with the extended family, grandparents as well as aunts and uncles.
Okay.
And then the second question, could you repeat the second question, sir?
It's about curfew.
About curfew? I think it's a good idea for kids to be inside after a certain hour. I mean, for a variety of reasons. One, to ensure that they're being safe and protected, first of all. Secondly, it gives them a chance to focus on their education. Hopefully they have some homework. So, and thirdly, is healthy for kids, to get proper rest.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. And thank you, caller, for your question.
Oh, that's
Jim, now moving forward, ChildServ in the past has really done an excellent job of adapting its services and addressing the needs of the community, starting from 1894 with the orphans all the way to today. How is ChildServ responding to the needs of today's at-risk families and the children therein?
Well, I mean, all of us are aware of the environment. I mean, it's a little more difficult than in the past to raise a child. First of all, a lot of people are dealing with the hardships connected with the economy, and just for the record, about 35% of African American children live below the poverty level. 33% of Latino children live below the poverty level. 17% of Caucasian children live below the poverty level, as well as 14% of Asian children living below poverty level. Just hearing these statistics, it just seems unconscionable that we treat our children this way in this land of plenty called the United States. So just having to deal with under-resourced community issues brings about its own challenge.
Okay, and thank you, Jim. I see we do have a caller. Good evening, caller, and what's your question?
Hi, thanks for accepting my call. There's been some information shared in the news regarding various organizations not being able to move forward with their contracts because their mission might state that they do not approve of adoptions for same-sex couples. So I guess the question is, what is the stance on ChildServ? And I'll listen, to that comment.
Well, that is not an issue for us. I mean, we don't discriminate. We don't isolate any potential caregiver who wants to help a child in need. So it hasn't been an issue for us, and it's not going to be an issue for us moving forward.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for calling in. And Jim, when we talk about ChildServ moving forward in today's environment and the special measures that are needed for the organization to, sustain itself and continue to move forward, even though, there are challenges facing not only ChildServ but other peer organizations as well. What are some of the ways that the organization is addressing that?
Well, today we're collaborating, and we've formed several partnerships. We're also trying to be good stewards with the resources that we have. In addition to that, we do a lot more in terms of the fundraising, and we've made a real commitment just to raise the awareness, make people aware that we're here to help children and families in need. It's not easy, it is challenging, but at the same time, if we can be planful and follow our plan, work our plan, then I think we can get the job done.
Okay. And when you talk about following a plan and just being mindful of, what is needed, are there any services or any new programs that ChildServ has introduced recently?
Well, in the last year, we've expanded our Healthy Fit program. Actually, this service has been integrated into all of our other programs. This is where we focus on nutrition, we focus on health. We also have a program called CCAP, Career Access Program at ChildServ for youth. It's connected to our youth who are planning to go to college or to begin to go into the vocational training arena.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of success with this. A lot of kids have gone on to college. This program has been in existence for about 3 years. I'm really proud to say a majority of the kids in our foster care unit who have graduated from high school have gone on to college. In addition to attending junior college, the CCAP, College and Career Access Program, kids have gone on to four-year institutions. We also have another service where the youth are benefiting from CCAP. This is in our residential services that are currently located in DuPage County. These young people have also gone on to college, and what has really been important is for the kids to really dig in and take on some new values. I mean, to really begin to understand that it's for the long term. They have to prepare themselves for the long term, and a lot of these kids are starting to do that.
Right, and they really are. I will say, Jim, that when we had our year-end celebration last May for the Youth Awards, and that is actually my favorite celebration in the agency, because you see these young people who have adopted their these values, and they've set new goals, and they're excited about going off to college. So that is definitely a program that our youth in not only our group homes but in our foster homes as well are benefiting from. And as far as the other programs that we've introduced?
Well, there's one other initiative that I like to bring up, and it's providing counseling services for military families. This is the newest initiative at ChildServ, and I'd like to inform our audience that we'll be conducting an event on November 21st. This event is a celebration for supporting military families. We belong to a national organization called the Alliance for Children and Families, and every year, the week of Thanksgiving, we celebrate families. And this year, the special focus is on the military family. And ChildServ is conducting an event on November 21st between 5 and 8 p.m. at the Chicago Cultural Center. We will have military families there. We will have service providers there, and we will, just lift up the people who are giving so much back to our country. So this program has been launched at our organization. We will provide individual, marital, and family counseling to military families, particularly families who have had a traumatic experience and seem to be under stress at this time.
Okay, and that is really fantastic because that really lets our viewers know that ChildServ today continues to address the immediate needs of our families and the children in our communities. Now, Jim, you mentioned that the event for the military families is in November. What else is going on in November? Because I know for the organization that's a very significant month.
Absolutely. I mean, we have our annual meeting It's also going to be at the Chicago Cultural Center. It's going to be November 9th. Every year we celebrate our history. Our organization has been around for 117 years, and I'm very proud of that. I mean, I've been with the organization for 17 years, and you know, I've seen a lot of change. I've seen where we've grown from being a community-based organization to an organization that's doing a lot of advocacy, not just for the people we serve at ChildServ, but helping other people in the community. And this is a special time for us to celebrate. In addition to the November celebrations, we have what we call holiday gift giving. We have a drive every year that's conducted in November and December for the children who are in our care and who participate in our community-based programs. We partner, you know, with other organizations like UPS. We go out and we recruit volunteers. It's a festive time. It's a time to celebrate. It's a time to give back to especially to the young kids. Can you imagine, you know, the children not having a festive holiday season? I mean, we all look forward to that. So, you know, I'm requesting that some of you come and volunteer, come and wrap gifts, come and join in the celebration with ChildServ.
Okay, thank you, Jim. And for our viewers, Jim just gave us a number of opportunities for you to get involved. You can reach us at ChildServ at 8765 West Higgins Road, Suite 450 in Chicago, Illinois, 60631. And you can always call us at our administrative offices. The number is 773-693-0300, or you can email us at info@childserv.org. And now, Jim, is there anything else that you'd like for our viewers to just kind of take with them tonight? Our time is just about up, but we've got a couple more minutes.
I'd just like for you to just think about the time when you were a child, and then look at yourself, you know, today as an adult, and how time has passed, and think about the country, the state that we lived in before, and think about the country and the state and the city and the county and the metropolitan area that we live in now. Even though a lot of us have had a lot of opportunities, a lot of people today are struggling. So I just want you to think about, you know, lending a hand, you know, lift up a child, help a neighbor, you know, give back in any way you can. It'll make you feel good. So I hope you know, everyone thinks about this and contributes in some way.
And Jim, that is really a good point, and it's good advice and good suggestion for our viewers as well as ourselves. We all have children in our lives. Why not really make a difference in their lives, in some way, improve and help them to build a better life? Now, we have, as I said, a few more minutes, so I'm going to share with you that we are going to be on every week, every Monday at 7 p.m. at this same station at CAN TV 21. And each week we will be discussing a different topic that is related to the work that ChildServ does. Next week we'll have a very riveting discussion about advocacy and some of the issues. And with that, I would like to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Please do come back next week, learn more about ChildServ. And Jim, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you, Millicent. It was a pleasure to be here.
Okay. And thank you. Have a good week.